Okay, let's come up here and isolate training and exams. And let's isolate training. There we go. We're looking for SC Project Excel Chapter 4, Lab 1. That's what we're working on here. Okay. And here we go. Start that puppy. And here I have my instructions. Again, you should be getting your instructions from the Google Classroom or the College Place server. I may have made modifications. In this case, I've made many modifications. So I suggest strongly that you do not download this particular project, but that you pull the file from, like I said, those two locations. Also, maybe you've got a paper copy that I've already printed out that references, and it actually points back to various elements from the handout and things that we covered during our demo. All right, so here's my start file over here. Excel Chapter 4, Lab 1. This is an end of module project, so it looks a little bit different than some of the projects we've done before. Here's my demo file. Okay, after that awkward pause, here we are in the Conyers Law Offices, and Nadia Khalif is the office manager for Conyers. The firm is planning to move its computer network into the cloud, so everyone working on a case can access information at any time. Nadia is in charge of securing a loan to pay for the network transition and asks for your help in creating a loan analysis. Network transitions are very expensive. Let's go to loan payment calculator. All right, here we go. I'm into number 2. Cell D4 has a defined name. That name is called date. Yes, which is unnecessary for a cell that will not be used in a formula. Delete the name for cell D4 from the worksheet. We really haven't talked about that before. Formulas tab. I'm going to go to the name manager for date. We're going to wipe it out. She wanted to delete the name date for my name manager. Yes. Once again, not something I explicitly covered in the demo or the practice exam. Number 3. I forgot to resize the row. It says loan payment calculator, resize row 1, that guy right there, to a height of 8.25 to reduce the blank space at the top. So I'm going to click on row 1, get my crosshair between 1 and 2, change my height to 8.25, like so. There we go. All right, very nice. Just did number 2. On to number 3, Nadia wants to assign names to other cells to help her interpret the loan calculations in the range D5 through D7. That's these guys right here. Define names based on the values in the range C5 through C7. Okay, so I'm going to select C5 through D7. I'm going to use these words over here to name these cells. That's going to be create from selection. Let me pause here right for a second. And that is, hold on a second, I just forgot. First of all, I didn't save this correctly, did I? File, save as, documents folder. I didn't follow my own rule. I got so excited about talking about Excel with a 2 on the end. There we go. And also, don't just follow along with my demo and get yourself spoon-fed. Okay? Work through it, struggle. That's not going to be easy sometimes, but work through it first before you just throw in the towel and maybe just watch my video. Okay? Use this as a resource, not as a walking you through the project, if that makes sense. All right. So I've selected C5 to D7, create from selection. Create names from the values in the left column. So these values in the left column are going to be applied to these values in column D. Click OK. And now we have 3 new named ranges called, drop down arrow up in my name box, loan amount, rate, and term are the 3 I just created. Okay. Number 4, Nadia needs to calculate the monthly payment for the loan in cell F5. That's down here. We are going to use the payment function. Okie dokie. Function wizard, insert function, PMT, and go. Now you might not have seen that below there under the select a function. I'm going to just make sure we have that. The rate. Now remember, we're making a monthly payment. And interest rates 99% of the time, except for on the practice exam and SAM, interest rates 99% of the time are communicated as annual rates. Interest being that fee you pay for using somebody else's money. So my monthly rate is going to be the rate, yes, divided by 12. Number of periods, my term, total years, D7. Convert years to months, multiply by 12. Present value, use a negative sign, and what is my loan amount? $327,000. So given I'm borrowing $327,000 at 7.825%, my monthly payment's going to be $3,900. Now watch this total interest. This is going to be interesting. Okay. Use the loan amount as the present value of the loan. Yes. Okay. All right. Nadia wants to calculate the total interest, which is the total amount of the payments minus the loan amount in cell F6. In our formula, it uses a function without using a function that multiplies 12. Okay, let's just start out. We start every formula with a equal sign. 12 being the number of months times term, the number of years, times monthly payments. Okay? Have I named the range monthly payment? I haven't. I just messed up on number 3. Oh, well, we'll go back and fix it here. Okay? 12 times term times F5. That's going to be the total payments that I make over time minus the amount of the loan. Whatever's left over is going to be my total interest. Check mark. So the fee they're charging me for borrowing $327,000 is $145,000 plus change. That's a lot of change. That's a lot of extra money you're having to pay at 7.8% interest. Okay, let's go back and select E5 through ding, 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 ding. F7. There we go. E5 through F7. I didn't do the second part of number 3. Create from selection. Left column. OK. And now I've got 3 extra named ranges called monthly payment, total interest, total cost. If I go back to that previous formula, there it's got loan amount and still has F5 up there though, doesn't it? Let's check this out. Run my mouse pointer through that. Click on that. There we go. Now we have the named range monthly payment in that formula. You know, I've never actually done that before. That was kind of interesting. Okay, total cost in F7 is going to be equal sign my loan amount plus my total interest. Enter button. So my $472,000 dream home, or whatever it is, this isn't a dream home. What am I saying, dream home? This is a network transition we're buying. Wish it was a dream home. That'd buy quite a bit of house. Excuse me. That was number 6. On to number 7. Next page. Again, it's really nice to have a paper version of the handout here. Number 7. Nadia wants to compare monthly payments, total interest, and total cost with interest rates from 7.725, that's down here, to 8.25 or 8.075%. She's already entered formulas to insert the monthly payments in cell D11, E11, and F11, which are pointing to these guys up here. All right. She wants to create a data table. Again, data table, we're going to take this interest rate, we're going to pop it in here, recalculate this stuff, and drop it down into our table. So it shows us the monthly payment, the total interest, and the total cost for all of these different potential percentages. And unlike that silly answer in our practice exam, where we had to drop in the rate, which was dumb, let's go down here and select our entire data table. Okay. Data. What if analysis under the forecast group. Data table. One more time. How are my percentages organized? They are organized in a column. What cell am I taking all my percentages and dropping them into? That would be column input cell D6. D6. And that's all you have to do. all that Excel is doing other than that is it's recognizing a pattern of what I'm doing with my data table. So for all of my different percentages, it's telling me what my monthly payment, my total interest, my total cost of my network transition is going to be. In cell D6, includes a rate of bank quoted Nadia for the business loan. In the list of interest rates, C12 through C26, create a conditional formatting, highlight cells rule to highlight the matching rate in green fill with dark green text. Okay, so C12 through C26, home tab, conditional formatting, highlight cells rule, equal to, and if any of those cells are equal to, now please don't type in 7.825%, please type in D6. If any of those cells are equal to D6, we are going to use green fill with dark green text as the instructions state, and OK. And again, that pointer will point at the cell that matches it up in our calculation up there. Okay, that was number 8. On to number 9. Nadia has set up the structure for amortization schedule in the range H4 through H15. Finish the amortization schedule by completing the formula in J5. Okay. That checks whether the year in column H is less than or equal to the term in D7. Okay, so we need to edit this formula. Now, don't freak out and go, that's so much information. Okay, whatever. All right. So here we go. Let's go up to our edit button. Look at F2. I'm going to click on J5. Function key 2 puts us in edit mode. All right. I also might want to just go up and click on my insert function. Bring up my function wizard. Okay, it's saying, is H5, my current year, is it less than or equal to D7, my total term? In other words, am I still inside of the conditions of my loan amount? I'm inside of 10 years. Well, obviously I am, because H5, which is 1, is way less than 10. All right? Then what's my calculation going to be? Okay, well, let's see here. I could just type out my present value formula. There's all kinds of things I could do here. Why don't I do this? Let's do the present value first. I realize I can come back to H5 is less than or equal to D7. I can remember that, right? Sure I can. Okay. Let's just do a whole other formula here. Let's come up here. Let's get rid of this. Let's come up here. Let's dive into this present value function. Just make sure that we've mastered it. Okay. First of all, my rate. My rate is over here, D6 divided by 12, converting a monthly rate to an annual rate. Number of periods, D7 times 12. Payment is going to be minus my monthly payment. And it's going to take the time value of money and the number of periods and tell me what the current present value is of a stream of payments over, in this case, 9 years of time. Click OK. All right. Let's pull out that part of my present value function without the equal sign. Let's just pull it out, Control X, stick it out on the clipboard. Okay. Let's go back and rebuild using my insert function. Let's go rebuild that if function again. If, which should be down in your select a functions area. If is H5 less than or equal to, less than, left hand, right hand greater than, using your little, holding your hands up and making less than and greater than signs. Is H5 less than or equal to F7, total cost? Now before, I'm just going to be careful here. Let's make sure we say, before it was F7 absolute. I just want to make sure I do that because they might nick me for that. F7 absolute, which means no matter where we copy that formula, it won't move around. I could also click on it and call it total cost, and it wouldn't move around either, but whatever. Value of true, I'm going to come back and paste in Control V my present value function, which is 327. Value of false. If my year is equal to the current year I'm in, there's not going to be any ending balance. And if my year is the current year that I'm in, if it's greater than my term, then obviously I've got 0 then. I should have had it paid off by then. So 0 is my value of false. Okay. That did not make sense. Rate 27. Let's see here. Where did I go wrong? Oh, I see where I went wrong. Hello. See, I make mistakes. Come on. I needed to say term times, here we go, term times term minus, I wasn't thinking, I was thinking of my loan amount here. Good learning opportunity. I just made a mistake here. Term minus H5, which is my current year. So the total number of years minus the current year I'm in times 12. Okay, that should make more sense. Click OK. There we go. Woo! Wow, that was fun. I messed up that present value, didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay, take that new formula, because we spent a lot of time building that. Take that new formula and fill it down through year 10, like so. And you should see now some numbers that make sense. Again, when we say amortization, we're saying reducing the amount that we owe the bank over time. All right? You can see at the very beginning, we're paying more in interest the first year because of that interest rate. We're paying more in interest than the amount we're actually paying down. When we say principal, we're saying the amount that we owe the bank. Okay? And it's taking us, we're putting more towards that than we are toward the principal, at least in year 1. That's kind of scary. All right. That was number 10. The line chart in the range H16 through L13 compares the amount of principal and interest paid. Love that. Again, like I said here, you've got this year interest paid is greater than the amount of principal paid. Dottie wants to make clear the chart more prominent on the worksheet and easier to interpret. Add a border to the chart. Add a border to the chart. Okay. Let's see. That would be shape outline, correct? Add a border to the chart. Okay. Okay, shape outline color. We're using lavender accent 1. I'm going to guess that's it. Lavender accent 1 and a 1.5. I'm just going to go right back to shape outline. And a 1.5 point weight. Okay. And it says to add the default data table. Let's see what that looks like. Let's go over here to chart elements and data table. And you see a bunch of numbers really packed in down there at the bottom, right? I said, hint, the numbers may overlap. Yeah, you think? To show the principal and interest values for each year. Okay? Here you can see the numbers that are actually being charted in this particular chart. Okay. So we're just kind of dropping that in as a explanation. We're just going to kind of leave it right there, like so. Okay. That was number 11. Number 12, Nadia was planning to list cost estimates for hardware and software purchases on the cost estimates worksheet. That would be over here. Decided not to delete the cost estimates worksheet. Right-click on cost estimates worksheet and goodbye, delete. Make sure you click on cost estimates worksheet. Okay. Go to the retirement planning projections, which looks like I already did, if necessary, which compares details for 3 retirement plans. Evaluating the law firm, the option shows the amount the firm would contribute to an employee's retirement plan. This is a deal called a pension, which we don't really have much of anymore, but here we go. In cell C10, And we're using something called the future value, FV function. How much something's going to be worth in time given a percentage growth figure, future value, FV. And it says use the monthly rate of return, cell C6. Again, rather they have an annual rate of return, and they've just divided that by 12, which I don't really believe in, but here they go. C6 is our monthly rate of return. Number of periods, usually they put that in terms of years. We already did that in months down here in C8. Okay. And the payment, use a monthly payment, cell F7 to calculate the future value of plan 1. Now I'm going to say F7. Oh, they already have the payment negative. Okay. There you go. So I can just put in regular F7. It's telling me that in the future, if I was to make these payments over and over again of $200 a month for 10 years at an annual rate of 7% and a monthly rate of that, after 10 years, those $200 payments would be worth $34,000. They're going to grow over time. So again, we're projecting out with the FV function, future value, how much is going to be worth in the future. Okay? And then once we create that for cell C10, we can just autofill over, and it will fill that in for plans 2 and plans 3, our employees on our different retirement plans. Let's go back to loan payment calculator. Okay. Let me just quickly review what I did. Okay. Yeah, I kind of messed up. I'm going to go back to that present value function. I kind of botched that, didn't I? You'll have to forgive me for that. Save it. Chapter 4 project. And let's see how I did. Let's go to continue and drag or drop. And let's go back to the documents folder. Sorry about that. And the end of module 4-1, open, check mark, submit. I'm not sure in this chapter after that, also I missed 3 questions in the practice exam, right? So you think I can get 100% on the first try on the project? You think? Do you think? I'm not sure. Let's see. And waiting, hoping, believing, thinking, possibly, not sure. Oh, good Lord, I got a 77 out of 100. In the loan payment calculator, working at the formula in cell F5 has not been entered correctly. Rate by 12, multiply the term by 12, use the loan amount as the present value of the loan. Oh, insert a negative sign at the beginning. Oh, I see what I did wrong. Okay. They didn't like the way that I did the loan amount. So payment, I need to put my negative sign in front of the payment and my loan amount just regular. It's going to end up with the same answer. They just didn't like my formula. Okay. There you go. What's next? Loan payment calculator, the formula in cell J5, so you use an absolute cell reference to the cell D7. Okay. There's an absolute cell reference to the cell D7, J5. Okay. I hear and obey. Oh, I said F7. Oh, my goodness. Reardon. It was D7. It was the number of years. Man, I really botched that formula, didn't I? Oh, my goodness. That's embarrassing. But again, learning opportunity. You make mistakes when you work with Excel. And eventually, it's going to find you out, right? Now, let's not forget to fill that down so it makes a little more sense. Fortunately, it didn't bite me, because I used kind of a nonsense number that didn't really impact the formula overall, but it was incorrect. I was basing it on the value, the total cost of the loan. I forgot the number of, instead of the number of years, I did F7 instead of D7. That was bad. Okay. Loan payment worksheet, the formula in cell J5 has not been entered correctly. Should use an absolute cell reference to the cell. Did I do that? Yes, I did. Did I not? Ding, 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 ding. D7. There we go. Okay, we did that. All right. Moving on. Uh, 0 out of 8. Well, I guess that was it right there. I just filled it down. That accounts for the 23. Let's save that. Let's go back and resubmit. See how I did this time. That might not have been as bad as I thought it was. And I'm not going to bore you here with, if I don't get 100 on this one. Man, this chapter's really beat me up, hasn't it? View reports. I'm wondering what kind of teacher you have here. That's okay. You're learning right along with me too. And here comes my feedback file. And ta-da! Even though I missed those 3, they quickly were corrected. I just turned my 77% into 100 because I made a couple of silly errors. All right. So I suggest after this, you go back and do the practice exam again just to nail down and solidify your learning. It's a pretty difficult chapter and kind of a linchpin as far as what we're learning here in Excel. So make sure there aren't any holes in your learning as we move forward. And then after, of course, the practice exam, you'll take the quiz. Thank you again for watching.